get the money, nigga. Taste the paper, bitch. Keep all of your morals, never slave for shit. Ice up on my wrist. Yeah, I'm hood rich. I don't give a fuck about to get pop quick. Yeah, I'm on that shit. Yeah, I'm in the town. Niggas talking about that G, but now they come around. Can't even come around. Yeah, I'm up, nigga. Man, fuck all of these hoes, get the bucks, bitch. I'm a young rich nigga, I ain't tryna flex. You can tell I'm cold by the ice around my neck. Straight up BBS, I charge you, boy, you wanna test. I don't get no shot up by a nigga or a bitch. Boy, I love the life I live, cause a nigga keep it real. Nigga freshly hell, take that drip, but get your spill. I ain't little flip, getting pimped up by the hills. I'm a straight G-Do, getting paper like a miso. That's that South Coast stain if you tryna hang. You be catered by the bang, boy, we rep the same. Nigga tryna talk, but we rep that murder game. Get your ass pop, ain't nothing to a G. All up, bitches wanna fuck, but hell nah, I don't pay no fee. Bitches leak 2G, got that ice, I make it sneeze. All these niggas lame as hell, can't even come around me. Bitches South Coast, South Carolina, bitch, I'm styling, yeah.
Really, no demons get control of me, no money get the best of me, no bitches getting up over me. Don't want much, nigga, I'm sucker free. That's the way it gotta be. These niggas chainy bitches training y'all, chainy soak me. For real, this brotherhood of weapon. And bitch, we carry weapons. Like a rob on nigga ass, don't even need a weapon. And y'all be represented, and y'all be well respected. And if you got a problem, then y'all way better address it. You cross that line, we ain't show no mercy. Cross that line, you ain't gon' need search. You pull up and they get nervous. You ain't making no moves, you ain't got no purse. On ISUPK, so I ain't never worried. I'm putting the murder, both of my hands dirty. For real, I learned from the OGs. I'm a young nigga, but I'm a certified priest. And I'm from Tennessee. In this minute-turn that I gotta keep my heat. You should play it safe, and we gon' play for keeps. For real.
Another nigga like this used to have that white bitch popping on the night shift. Now I'm going westward, sharper than an ice pick. On you rappers' necks and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. That's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the swerve in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the swerve in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani, my wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on the face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like nice missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Taha Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the score in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know life. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the score in my whole life. My whole life.
Bust their head.
ODing on the beat, Narcan flow. Got my... We outside. We outside with it. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. That Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One west sleeve stretch, do it live on the gram. Had a whole world viewing. Click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block, tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them like they Play-Doh. Soldiers giving halos, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows send you out of space, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, leave you all boxed up. All cause my delivery. I be on that prime shit. Take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir. Treat you like the Ukraine. Invade your little city, now you boating like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle. I got new aim, fresh kick, spit with the blick. Not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got that Ruger 5 and 7. That's my boot thing. That temperature's getting hot. We take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store. We take it outside. I got my killers with me. You won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. That Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. That Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. I don't talk hardly, be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a baldy. Chopper get to run down your block like a Harley. Nah, this ain't a big hog, this the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big bursts of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty Mortal Kombat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look 'em in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother how to bid, ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside. Told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, outside, and we outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, outside, yeah, we outside. There's one west on them corners, and we outside. We outside, outside with it.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple, and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ. And Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, man, Father, this is real. Will you watch over me? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you call for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they will follow the law, they doing it. You said under your house shine, they ought to love one another, and they doing it.
Shalom. Yabashim Shabakatum to the brothers. Shalom. Shemar Latham Hashem Yahshua to the sisters. I am priest and officer Lamawad of the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And we are all under Commanding General Yohana. Tonight is the Wednesday Law class brought to you by ISUPK Dallas. And we're going to get into this thing like we always do. Hit it hot and heavy and get some understanding and some edification. And hopefully you all that view this video will leave with a little bit more wisdom than you entered into it with, right? So let's get straight into this thing. Let me get my sword out. I would use my phone, but you know what I'm saying? The book is just better. You know what I mean? You got to spend time finding these books and these chapters and these verses, especially to all my young men and troopers out there, especially you troopers, because you'll be up on that podium and you'll be reading. You need to know where to flip real quick. We need it real fast. You understand? Um, Speaking of, we will have camp this weekend, so you can catch us downtown. All right. You got any questions about that? You can get the number off ISUPK.com, and you can inquire about when and where. Shalom, sis. All right. All right. Let's get into this thing. Now, if any of you have watched my classes before, you know that I like to keep it real simple. I like to keep it real smooth. Let's get straight to the point. Let's bring it to today's terms where we can understand it and we can break it down fairly simple. All right. Because we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. All right. So this has to be very practical in the way that because you don't want to be out there amongst Christians and you get to talking about how you're an Israelite and they go to pressing you and you can't break this down. That's why you should be in these classes. That's why you should study. I mean, that's not the only reason why. I don't want you to misunderstand. Your reasoning for being in class is so that you can understand what you need to do to please the Most High God, and that you can inherit the kingdom of heaven. All right. That is your number one priority. But also loving thy brother like you love yourself. You will learn this so that when you have conversations with Christians, you will be able to break this thing down and show them their transgressions as you are commanded to do by the Lord. All right. All right. Let's get into this. Shalom, Antonio. All right. Let's turn to Psalms 19 and verse 7 because because we need to know what it is about the law that is so unique that makes us who we are as Israelites. All right. So, matter of fact, hold on one second. You don't even have to turn there. I have to turn there. But if you want to break out your sword and turn there, I'm not going to be mad at you at all. But I'm going to put it right up here for y'all to see. So, where we at? 19 and verse 7. Y'all bear with me because my eyesight is not what it used to be. I ain't a young man no more. All right. Let me go back here. See if this pops up. All right. Let me get back. Trying to see if it popped up on the screen for you guys. Let me know if it popped up for you. I don't think it did. Y'all give me 1 second here and I'm going to correct that. Because you know, I am who I am. And I do what it do. Yeah, see? There we go. A small technical difficulty. All right, cool. All right. Psalms 19 and 7. The law of the Lord is perfect. So, one, the law is perfect. It's the Lord's law. Who? The Most High God. All right. You know what I'm saying? Jot that down. Do what you got to do. But understand that the law of the Lord is perfect. There's nothing wrong with the law of the Lord. Christianity will tell you that, the Lord knew that we couldn't keep it. That's why he sent his son, right? That's something you should not fall for. All right. In those type of situations, take a deep breath, calm yourself, and simply say Psalms 19 and 7. The law of the Lord is perfect. You know what I'm saying? What else do it do? It converting the soul. All right. What does that mean? It changes who you are. All right. You'll no longer see things in this world the same way. When you see a brother walking down the street with his pants halfway down, you'll know he is off as hell. That's no longer going to be your culture. That's no longer going to be the way you conduct yourself. All right. When you see a sister wearing, tight clothing, showing everything, you going to know that is off as hell. You won't let your daughter walk out that way, and you won't let your son walk out that way. You yourself will not walk out that way. You know what I'm saying? You'll know when you sit down to eat, there better not be any pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, crawfish boil, anything that is abominable to the Lord. You will not have it around you. You understand? All right? That's what it means to convert your soul, because you will become a new creature. You will be born again. Okay? The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Meaning everything that the Lord says, you can believe it. 100, 1,000, 10,000, a million percent. Don't matter. It's going to happen. Because he said it's going to happen. And you can put your money on that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to rig the game like these sports players rig the game. Speaking of that, why they showing all the NBA players that was involved in this? Where the mobsters at? Where the mobsters at? Why they ain't showing the mobsters, right? That's why if them NBA players, them so-called black NBA players, would have came under the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, they wouldn't be in the problems that they in. Why? Because they would obey the law, because the law of the Lord is perfect, and it would have converted their soul, and they would have been like, no. They would have known that was the devil that they were messing with. They wouldn't have never got involved with the Italian man or any other so-called white man to get them in the predicament that they're in right now. All right. Testimony of the Lord is sure, meaning anything that he says, you can bank on it. You know what I'm saying? Making wise the simple. If you understand the law of the Lord and you understand what you have to do to please the Most High God, I don't care who tells you you're not smart, who tells you you're not intelligent, tell you, you dumb, or whatever the case may be, or even if you yourself don't understand things in this world that great. If you understand the laws of the Lord and what it does to you, you're the wisest man on the planet. man or woman for that matter. And then when you realize that, you'll raise up your children the same. Your children will come up not even knowing anything different. Everything that they experience will be foreign to them when they go to school or have contact with other people that's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandment. Your kids will be like, them people are weird, because they understand serving the Lord is the number one priority. All right. All right. Let me get something else for you real quick here, because I want to get what Christ got to say about it. Let's go to Matthew 5 and 48. Look at Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Let me get this here. Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. All right. Let's see what Christ got to say about it. Because Christians love to pull out the old, well, that's the Old Testament, brother. We don't do that. We have Christ. They love to say that we have Christ. Slocky. Hold on one second, because I want to change something real quick. All right. To anybody watching, you don't have to make your comments on YouTube. You can make them on Facebook as well. It seems like Facebook comments are working. So if you have any questions at all, please put them in the comments and I will answer them to the best of my ability. All right. If I cannot answer your question, I will tell you that I will get an answer to your question. And then in my next class, I will give you that answer. Or if I see you, I will give you that answer. All right. All right. So now let's go to Matthew. What did I say? Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. 5, verse 48. All right. Be ye therefore perfect. What's perfect? The law of the Lord is perfect. So any Christian tell you, well, brother, he knew we couldn't keep the law, that's why he sent Christ. You come to Matthew 5 and 48. And this is Christ talking. When you look in your sword, your Bible, these words are in red, meaning these are Christ's very own words. And Christ said, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. So precept to that is Psalms 19 and 7. That says, the law is perfect, converting the soul. All right. So you can jot that down, put that in your thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's stay in this same chapter and let's back up and go to the 18th verse. All right. And this is Christ as well. And you can back up right here and take them right here to verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven is still above us, earth is still where we stand. And neither one of these gone away. All right. One jot or one tittle, so one crossing of the T, one dotting of the I, shall in no wise pass from the law. So I mean, ain't none of it passing from the law. So you look at Christians square in their eyes and be like, so what is you talking about? Well, I should follow you or I should follow Christ? Because the Bible says, let God be true and every man a liar. And I get that for you as well. one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Now, a Christian at this time will say, see there, brother, fulfilled. And you just look at them dumb. You ain't got to make no kind of, you ain't got to get in your feelings about it, nothing like that. Because here's the thing. If you have the truth, you don't have to argue with people. You don't even have to entertain the conversation, to be honest, because people that have the truth know they have the truth. So they ain't got time to even waste on somebody that's still trying to figure out. Now, we in the ISUPK, we're commanded to show our people their transgressions. So we'll show patience until we see that, brother, you just ain't, you don't want to get it. You want me to get what you saying, and you don't have the truth. So at the end of the day, you look at them kind of, you be a brother, you be a sister, but at the same time, you gotta be hardcore with this, because Christ was hardcore. The Most High God is hardcore. He's a man of war. So you stand on this like a rock. And every time they come with this shaky house built on sand attitude, you just cut them. You cut them and you keep standing. And as long as they want to keep bringing the BS to you, you keep throwing it right back at them. All right, let's move on to the next verse. Verse 19. Because Christ is doubling down on this thing, right? And the fulfilled is just about prophecy. Prophecy being fulfilled. And the all fulfilled is Christ's return and the kingdom being set up and all these nations being put in servitude. So the all fulfilled has not come. So again, I look a Christian in the eye. What are you talking about? All right. Verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. So one of these eating shrimp, eating pork, shaving your head bald, what else? What's something small that, we would think, oh, it's not that bad. Because I'm not even worried about the small things at this point. I can't even think of it right now, but when I do think of it, I'll let you know. But it's small thing. I mean, cut your beard off. That's a small thing. You know what I'm saying? You cut your beard off. Again, ask a Christian, how hard is it to grow your beard? And it'd be like, some of them be like, well, I can't really grow a beard. Okay, well, then grow whatever you can. Don't cut it off, though. Well, I'm going to look bad. So what? You don't look bad to the Most High God. Because really what you want to look good for, you want to look good for that woman. I understand. I get it. But if she can't understand that you a man of the Lord, you don't need her anyway, brother. You don't need her anyway. Because she going to keep you from the Lord. If that's what you trying to do to impress her. Same with the sisters. It's not hard not to dress in inappropriate attire. That's not hard. It's hard when you trying to, get with some dudes. But if that dude only accepts you for what you got on or what you got under, then that brother is not for you. Because what you going to end up doing, you going to end up sleeping with him. He going to bounce. 100% guaranteed. He going to bounce. At some point. Why? Because you didn't even build it on the right things in the first place. Here in the school, here in ISUPK, you can't even talk to a woman in your first 6 months here. You know what I mean? Because you need to shed yourself for the world. All these philosophies and doctrines that are on your heart, meaning on your mind. You need to get the right understanding of the Lord. You need to get the right understanding of how to treat your people, how to look at things, situations, and all of that. You need to be a new creature. Then let's say you find a woman in school that you like. You gonna have to first, you gonna have to put in your bid. You know what I'm saying? Um, she may or may not want you. Then y'all gonna have a courting period where y'all gonna that may be for another 6 months, right? Because you need to know if y'all are equally yoked, if y'all are on one accord, if y'all can exist together without getting on each other's nerves. Well, let me back up. You gonna get on each other's nerves. I don't care how long you court. You gonna get on each other's nerves, but you gonna know how to deal with it. If you dealing with it, thus saith the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? And not with the world. All these shows that they got out here, pop the balloon and what is that? What is that chick's name? Cynthia G and different people like that trying to give relationship advice. Not one of them has talked about coming to the Lord and obeying what the Lord says to do. So what they telling you is doo-doo. It's pure doo-doo. Because why? Does that mean what some of the things that they're saying is not true? No, it doesn't mean that. But it is not grounded in the right place. If it was grounded in the Lord, it would be an old time marriage where it's 60 years, you know what I mean? But again, we live in a filthy, wicked society, all right? Let's keep going. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so. So now you talking about you teaching men to break the commandments. Well, who is that? That's your Christians, your Christian pastor. You know what I'm saying? All right. And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. You ain't getting in. You ain't getting in. If you do, you're gonna be cleaning toilets. You're gonna be sanitation worker. Not that there's something wrong with being a sanitation worker. I'm not knocking anybody's hustle at this. What I'm trying to get across to you is that you're not gonna be anything in the kingdom of heaven. All right. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. All right. So the men and women of ISUPK, we teach you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And scriptures say, man, you're gonna be great in the kingdom of heaven. You're gonna be in rulership. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's all right. Verse 20. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, what does that mean? The scribes and Pharisees were telling the Israelites to keep the law, but the scribes and Pharisees were not keeping the law. So that's like the Christian pastor today who's got all these people in his church and he's lying to them. Whether he's ignorantly doing it or he's knowingly doing it, he's lying to them. All right? And he's going to keep them out of the kingdom of heaven. So this verse is saying you got to exceed that. You can't just talk about it. You got to actually do it. And that's where the obedience of this thing comes in at. You can't stand in this truth and not have obedience. It just doesn't. It just can't stand. Right. Let's go to Romans 1:5. All right, because I had something else I was gonna do, but we gonna move in a different direction because this is more important. You know what I mean? Let's go Romans 1:5. Sometimes you gotta deviate from the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, everybody's got a plan till they get hit. Well, I had a plan till the class started. And now we moving in different directions and we getting edified the same. All right. Romans 1:5. By whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among all nations for his name. Right? Because obedience is the key. And because of that, we receive grace. We're called of Yahweh Mashiach. All right. Among whom are ye also the called of Yahweh Mashiach, whom we ignorantly call Jesus Christ. But he's Yahweh Shai. All right. Grace cannot save you if you are not being obedient and disciplined enough to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Let me explain something to those that may not know. Following the law, statutes, and commandments is not something that, you just read it and you do it. Because then it's like going to school, right? And the teacher's teaching, he tells you his test coming up. And so you just studying for the test. You don't care about the test. You just want to pass the class. So what's going to be on the test? Let me study that. And then I go take this test. And then now you take the test, you pass the test. Test is over with. You don't even remember nothing. Somebody asks you about, hey man, what was on the test last week? Man, I don't even know. Because you don't care about the test. Same thing with these law, statutes, and commandments. Don't treat it like that. How you should treat it is like this. You have a Father that's in heaven, right? That loved you enough to pick you amongst all these nations that are on this planet. Of all these billions of people that's on this planet, he chose us. Okay? He chose us, and he gave us an instruction manual on how to get into the kingdom of heaven. And this is how you should look at it. You should look at like with damn, I get to have what all these billions of people can't have, no matter how hard they try. That's how you should look at it. So then, because we are stiff-necked people, and he says we're stiff-necked people, meaning we're stubborn. We want to do what we want to do, and we want to go party, and we want to do what these other nations are doing because it looks good, looks fun, whatever the case may be. So we go off and we do it. And the Lord's looking at us like, man, I can't believe these folks, man. I chose them out of everybody on the planet, and they would rather go be with everybody on the planet, except for be with me, and I'm the one that made the planet and everything on it. I mean, When you just think about that, it don't make sense. Okay, so we do that. And the Lord, like, man, he ain't dealing with us no more. So he sent his son. And his son came to be just like us. Because what were we doing? We were doing like Christians say today. Man can't keep the law. You know how hard it is? 613 law, statutes, and commandments, which a lot of it don't even apply to you at the end of the day. Some of it apply to women, some of it apply to children, some of it applies to agriculture, some of it applies to all many different things that doesn't apply to you. So it's not hard to keep the law. But we make excuses, right? That's what the Christian church is for. Christian church makes excuses so they can go out and do the things that they want to do. That's just the crux of it. That's the truth of it, man. Just understand what I'm saying. We make excuses to do what we want to do because we can't see the Father in heaven and he ain't doing nothing to us right now. So, hey, what does it hurt to go to the club and find a chick? She like me, I like her, you know, boom, bam, we back, and I'm doing my thing. It don't work like that. But if you put it in perspective that Christ came and he suffered. If you can put that in your head, pick a best friend of yours and picture them suffering for you to live and dying so that you could live. I think it probably would be in perspective a little bit more for you. You understand? When all he asks is that you just be obedient. He ain't asking for a whole lot. And then he came in the flesh, born like the rest of us from a man and a woman. And he obeyed the law, statutes, and commandments to a T so that we would not have an excuse anymore. So that when you try to make these excuses, now all you doing is just telling on yourself. Now when you say, I can't do this, I can't do that, really what you're saying is that you're weak. You're not strong enough, you know what I'm saying, for this. So essentially, you don't need to be in the kingdom of heaven because you're not strong enough for it. You don't deserve it. Because it doesn't even take physical strength, it takes mental strength. That's why it says circumcise your heart, meaning circumcise your mind. All them thoughts that your heart or your mind has on it, you push that away and you fight for what God says is true. Mental fortitude. All right. Let's keep on moving. Let's go Romans 5:19. Let's go to 5:19. Same book, chapter 5, verse 19. All right. For as by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. And this is what I'm talking about. So Adam sinned against the Lord. I want y'all to understand why Adam sinned against the Lord. Adam sinned against the Lord behind a woman because Eve was the one that talked to the snake in the garden, which the snake was not a talking snake, it was a man. And that man used them smooth words. He had game. You know what I mean? He had good game. And he talked to Eve and got her to eat of the fruit. Wasn't a fruit. Wasn't an apple. He got in her head is what he did. He got in her head and got her to thinking about a different way, a different philosophy, a different doctrine. Just like Christianity, just like Islam, just like any other crazy thing, somebody that reads horoscopes, whatever, witchcraft, all of that. She comes back to Adam with this nonsense, and Adam, being a weak man, just gonna be call it what it is. He allowed her to pawn that off on him. So now Adam, in his weakness, sinned against the Lord because the Lord said, you don't eat of that tree. You don't take on those philosophies and doctrine. All this other space out here, all these other people out here that I told you could mess with. You let her talk you into going and listening to this fool over here. We deal with that today. How many men done died behind a woman? How many men done been in fights and stuff behind a woman? How many men have struggled and strived because of a woman acting a fool with them? Now, it's not an attack on women. These are just facts. I understand too, at the same time, women struggle with the men. Why is that? Why is that? Because neither one of them follow the Lord. Neither one of them. So because neither one of them is following the Lord, they following themselves. You understand? They following themselves. So, like it says, for as by one man's disobedience, many were made sinners. All right? So by the obedience, because you're going to be obedient to somebody, whether it's that supervisor on your job, manager, VP, or whatever, or it be that cop, that county prison guard, to eventually the prison, state penitentiary prison guard. You're going to obey somebody. Why don't you just obey the Most High God and do what he say? And you ain't never got to worry about none of that. None of that. Even when you in the drug game, or you in the pimping game, or you in the hustle game, or whatever game you playing, there are rules to it that you got to obey. Obedience. And along with those games that you play, they all got consequences. For what? Disobedience. When you ain't got to worry about none of that if you would just obey Most High God. It's that simple. Them NBA players, like I said, if they would have been following the Most High God, they would have never, ever been with the mafia. The mafia is the reason why we have gangs today. You think black folks made up gangs? Black folks didn't make up gangs. So-called white people was doing it. Mafia was killing up folks way before black folks was doing what we doing. So don't never let no so-called white person tell you, y'all got these gangs. Man, stop it. Y'all got massacres named, documentaries and stuff like that. Y'all would name the massacres. So stop it. Try to tell me about some gang. Man, stop. Salam, sis. Good to see you in here. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to stay in Romans. Let's go to chapter 6, verse 16. Chapter 6, verse 16. Give me just a second. Romans chapter 6, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness. So this further solidifies what I just got through saying. Whoever you yield yourself to, that's what you're going to be subject to. Meaning, if you go to the dope game, you're going to be subject to somebody, whether it be the cartel, whether it be the kingpin that runs, you know what I'm saying? Whoever running that block, whoever running that city, whoever, you're going to be subject to them. And you're going to get whatever comes with that. That's just, I mean, I really don't have to break that down. I think most of us that have been in these type of situations, we understand the games that we play, but we still play them. And we fool ourselves thinking you'll get out untouched. I've never met anybody that got out of it really just untouched, other than if you do come to the Lord. There's consequences. You know what I'm saying? And it says, whether of sin unto death, meaning even if you like say, if you in the dope game, men that are in the pimp game or women that are in the pimp game, man, that like let me let you in on something. Let's just be real. Let's have some real life talk, man. Pimp game is a tough game. I'm just gonna tell you that, because if you the female, man, that you know what kind of mindset you gotta have. I mean, you start off being innocent to now you ruthless. You know what I mean? And it don't, you so numb, and it doesn't mean anything to you. But now you don't got beat and I don't want to say hypnotized, but you've been finessed so much by your pimp. You know what I'm saying? That, man, it just takes a toll till you look up and you 50 some years old, still out on the corner or out on the blade. You know what I'm saying? On the track. I mean, that is a hard, rough game, man. Like, good night. Dope game. You brother be on the corner. Well, let me stop with the you brothers. We be on the corner. For a minute, I did what I do. But you be on the corner, and when you realize, when you actually sit down and you think about what you're doing versus what you're making and the risk involved, man, you on a 9 to 5 job. You just working at night. But you in a 9 to 5 job, and your consequences is way dire than somebody who works a regular square job, you know? So it's time for our people to rethink themselves. It's time for our people to really sit down and stop all the partying, stop all the childish things. You know what I'm saying? We like to act like we grown, but we don't act like we grown. I hope you understand what I'm saying with that. We like to act like we grown, but we don't act like we grown. Stop playing grown up and actually be an adult about these things. Sit down and think about what you're doing, where you're headed with your life. Or are you just living like myself? Are you living second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour? I don't take myself out the equation when I talk about these things. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to us. We have to plan for the future and learn from the past. But you don't live in the past. You know what I'm saying? You learn from it. That's why we on that corner making you aware that it's not your fault that we in these ghettos, but it is your fault for accepting these things. But it's not our fault that we live in the condition that we live, the hell that we live in, but it is our fault for accepting it. It is for our fault for looking at each other like you the reason I'm here when they not the reason we here. There's a people that's responsible for that, and you should hold them accountable for it. The people that's in it with you, you should band together with them, like the scriptures say, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. We are the people that are not desired. So we should gather together and desire one another so that we can be strong in this place and nobody would dare come against us. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on. Let's jump back to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 30. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 30. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shalt be obedient unto his voice. Verse 31. For the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them. So let's back up. So it says, when you're in tribulation, we're in tribulation right now. Ain't they cutting off the SNAP? Would they make us the face of the SNAP benefits? And mind you, it's a lot of our people that's on it. But guess what? If we were gathered together and we were all one, we wouldn't need no SNAP. We would have each other's back. Nobody would go unfed. Nobody would go unclothed. Nobody would go without a roof over their head. But because we buy into this system, this devil system, this hell, this condition that we're in, we rely on SNAP. We rely on EBT. Understand, when you rely on these things, you are making somebody else your daddy. Somebody else is your father at that point because they taking care of you. So how you get mad when they ain't taking care of you no more? When if you will obey the Lord, he'll take care of you. You won't want for these things. Scriptures say that we would go to our oppressor in the want of all things. So where are we at? We're in America. We're in the want of all things. Who do we got to go to? Who do we have to rely on? Or the illusion that we need to rely on, right? But the Lord said he would never let you go unclothed, without shelter, and without food. You just got to trust in his testimony. You have to have faith. You have to have obedience. And you have to actually do something, which is to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? That's what it means if you turn to the Lord thy God and shalt be obedient unto his voice. That's obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, Christians kill me when they say they have a relationship with God, but when you ask them, well, how do you have a relationship, they get to stuttering. You ask somebody in the ISUPK about that, we gonna clearly define it. Obey the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the voice of the Lord. That's what the Lord requires. But when you ask a Christian, I love the Lord. We've got a great relationship, but the Lord don't know you exist. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because scriptures say that He heareth not sinners. I'll get that for you. You know what I'm saying? Where am I at here? Let's go John 9:31. Christian that says that he or she has a relationship with God. I hope you come across my video. Leave me a comment, thumbs up the video, even thumbs down it. Doesn't matter to me, but you're going to get this work. All right. John chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners. So you have a relationship with God, but you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. God don't know you exist. He don't hear you. He don't know you. And frankly, he don't want to know you because you're not doing anything he said do. So don't let a Christian try to tell you, oh no, brother, that's why Christ died. He shed his blood so that you didn't have to keep the commandments and you accepted into the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be a good person. When they don't even know how to be a good person, they don't know what righteous is. You start asking questions. And that's what I mean. Christians don't ask questions. They go to Bible study at their church and they take whatever the pastor gives them. And the pastor don't know the Bible. He learned from his oppressor at a seminary school, at some kind of Bible college or something of that. You learn their knowledge. When their knowledge is based on keeping you under their thumb. Their knowledge is based on keeping them in power. And you think they got us in slavery under Christianity. Their so-called forefathers started this nation under Christianity. You think that they gonna tell you that you are the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and this is what you should be doing? You think they gonna tell you that? No, you gotta get in the book. Like, what do they say? Keep something from niggas, put it in a book. Well, guess what? That book, where is that book they talking about is right here. It's putting this in this book. And none of us really read it. We just listened to the pastor. Pastor went to a seminary school. They told him how to read it. Somebody like Nat Turner, he read it for himself. And he began to realize, wait a minute, this ain't what the hell they telling me. And then he get a revolution from it. We ain't telling you to get a revolution. We telling you to gather together and be brothers and sisters to one another. You know what I'm saying? And build this nation. All right? Let's keep reading. Here is not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. What's God's will? Give definitions when you deal with Christians or Islam or anybody else. Give definitions. God's will is that we keep our covenant with him. God's will is that everything he said is going to happen is going to happen. And one of the things that his will wants done is that we keep his law, statutes, and commandments and inherit the kingdom of heaven like he promised us. You got to define these things. All right. All right, let's go. Let's see. I want the next verse 32. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? As we going into Christ. I'm not gonna take it there because that's not on point. Here's something you can ask Christians. This is the most simple, basic thing that you can ask Christians. Shalom, sis. Good to see you. Here's a simple question you can ask Christians. All right. It's 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. And the question you're gonna ask is, what is sin? Simple question. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Right? And what you're gonna get from most Christians is a bunch of mumble jumble, as they say. I don't know. You gonna get a bunch of stuttering, is what I'm trying to say. You're not gonna get an answer. You're not gonna get a clear cut answer. And you simply come to John 3 and 4 because you define it. And it's whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Simple, straight to the point cut. Because, like I said, you don't have time to play around with feelings. We don't know when Christ is going to come back. So we don't have time to play around. That's why we got grace. Playtime's over. Get your stuff together. If you didn't pay that electricity bill and you call them for a grace period, you don't got time to play around. They want their money by the end of the week. You ain't got that money, you're going to be in the dark. You're going to be cold in the winter. Or you're going to be hot in the summer. Christ come back, you're going to be cut off just like the rest of these nations. Plain and simple. You may be put to death. This is a serious thing, man. This Lord ain't nothing to be played with. That's why he says to fear him. He ain't sitting up playing games. Like, that's what I mean. Like, if you a father that just want to play games all the time with your children are never going to really just respect what you say because you play too much. It's not a bad thing to play with your kids, but your kids need to know when you serious. Like, when I say do it, you do it. Don't question me. I'm not here for you to question me. And that's what the Most High God is saying to us. You better fear me. Fear what I can do to you. But you shouldn't look towards the fear. You should love me enough to just do what I say. Be obedient, do what I say, because what I'm saying to you is for your detriment, not mine. You think God gave us the law because it does something for him? It doesn't do anything for him. It does it for us. But a lot of us, we too stupid to understand. I'm gonna be straight up. Some of us just too stupid to understand. God don't need a law. God is the law. He didn't even need to give it to us, but he gave it to us. But we want to question why. Why would he want us to live like that? Why he just want us to, he just want us to do this and do that. You know why you think like that? You think like that because you fighting demons on you. Them demons are your addictions to the things or whatever you addicted to. And you don't have enough strength because you too weak to stop doing whatever it is you're doing. So you just go sit your ass in that Christian church. And when Christ come, you say, Lord, 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 I prayed and prophesied in your name. And he gonna look at you and say, get away from me. I have never known you. I just gave you the scripture where he said, he heareth not sinners. Most every Christian that I've run into say we are all sinners. I look at them and say, you's a lie. And they look at me crazy, like, you saying you perfect? Well, Christ told me to be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Right? Now, what does that say? Does that say that you can't mess up? You can't willfully mess up. That's what I'm gonna tell you. If you know for a fact you ain't supposed to be doing something and you do it anyway, scriptures say you cooked. That's what it is. You cooked. But if you unknowingly do it, you ignorantly do it, that's falling 7 times. You know what I'm saying? But if if you've been warned time after time after time after time again, don't eat pork, but you eat it anyway, knowing it's a sin against God, brother, you gave up your life for pork. You ain't no better than Esau, who gave up his inheritance for some raw meat in a soup. You lumped yourself in with him. I'm just gonna be honest. We are above all people on the face of this earth. We are held to a much higher standard by the Lord. And you need to understand, we need to understand that at all times. And it's a slight thing to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. A slight thing. Mm, let's go Revelations 21 and 7. Revelations 21 and 7. Revelations 21 and 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things. That's obedience. Overcoming your desires, overcoming your lusts. If you can overcome these things, you'll inherit the kingdom. Well, you inherit all things that the Lord say, not just the kingdom. You get crowns, you get everything else. The testimony of the Lord is true. You just got to believe it and do it. Like, that's all I can tell you with that. Because it's plain and simple. That's why we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I mean? Like these things are very simple. Christians, just like Muslims, like to complicate things. They have to make things just some complicated. It can't just be that simple type thing. Even with Christ being born, he can't just be born to a man and a woman. No, he got to have God impregnate Mary, and then he comes out, but he's actually God. like like God got Mary pregnant. This is the wildest thing I have ever heard in my life. God got Mary pregnant to birth God. But God can create everything on the planet. He created Christ, and Christ and the angels created everything. But somehow he felt he had to get Mary pregnant and birth himself. Hey, make it make sense, man. Captain Tazariak, shout out to the Cap, because these so-called intellectual people that he, debates and has talks with, I mean, that's wild to me, man, that they would even say things like this and believe it, because they have been so indoctrinated. They don't even understand that they are mixing like Greek mythology and other pagan stories in with the Bible. Like it's the wildest thing. Shalom sir. But yeah, it's wild. Y'all gonna sit up and try to tell me God got Mary pregnant to birth God, as if God could just snap his fingers and make something. Like this is, I digress with this, but that is wild to me. All right. Let me start off. Revelations 21:7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things. So you have got to obey these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you have to stick to it. Be obedient to it, and be disciplined, and overcome. Overcome your mind. All right. And I will be his God, and he shall be my son. It's that simple. It's that simple. I can't make it any more simple than that. All right. So let's move on. For anybody, let's go to another Christian talking point. Let's go to another Christian talking point. What's another Christian talking point? Love. I swear, when a Christian talks to me about love, it makes my skin crawl, because I know the love they're talking about, and the love they're talking about is emotional. And so if it's emotional, you start to get into a cringe type situation, man. Like you do. Because it Christians don't know love. If it hit them side the head, they don't. First of all, Christian will talk about love. God is love. God is this and God is that. And then they'll cuss you out in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? They them ladies be done took that hat off, probably took the weave off. You know what I'm saying? Kick the heels off, and they ready to squab in the parking lot of the church grounds. Let's go 1 John 5:3. Talking about love. When they talk about love, you need to come right here. You need to come right here. 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of God. This is love. This right here is love, according to the Most High God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Now, because we like definitions. Hold on one second. Because we like definitions, We're going to define grievous. If I can spell it. How we spell it? Oh shoot. I misspelled it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say I was the best speller, but I can I can read very well though. Go tell them that. All right. Grievous. Let's see. Means something that causes great pain, suffering, sorrow, or serious harm. All right. Definition of grievous. I give it again. Something that causes great pain, suffering, sorrow, or serious harm. Does not cutting off your hair cause you great harm? You mean it would cause you sorrow to have to have braids or to keep your hair on your head? Is that what you telling me? Is that what a Christian telling me? Would it be painful for you to not cut your beard? I say this, for a lot of us so-called blacks, cutting our beard causes us pain because of the bumps and everything else like that. So look like you would be the opposite of cutting, trying to be clean shaven. First of all, you look like a 2-year-old, but that's just me. But basically what this is saying here is saying his commandments are not hard to keep. It's not going to harm you. It's for your betterment, not to cause you pain, sorrow, or serious harm, as the definition would say. All right. Go to Romans 3:31. Go to Romans 3:31. 3 verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? So the question is, because you have faith, do we just throw out the law because you got faith? First of all, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you have faith in? Like sometimes you just have to look into what's being said, whether it be a Christian, a Muslim, atheist, whoever. When they ask you a question, look into the question, because you can find a question in the question. You don't answer it as a question, but right here, do we make void the law through faith? Well, what's your faith in then? Because faith would be that, well, let me read on. God forbid, meaning no, right? Yea, we established the law, right? So what does that mean? Your faith is the law. Why? Because like I said earlier, in the scripture I gave earlier, I think it was what was it? But I gave it earlier. I'm not processing it right now, but it'll come to me. But we established the law through faith. Why? Because your faith is in the law. Why is your faith in the law? Because the Lord's testimony is true. That was Psalms 19:7. Because his testimony is true, right? The Most High God said that if you do this, you will inherit the kingdom of heaven. So your faith has to be that I do this and I inherit the kingdom of heaven. If I do this, no nation will ever be able to assert authority over me. You know what I'm saying? Or as a nation, they'll never be able to assert authority over us. You know what I'm saying? We will have a hedge of protection. The Lord testimony will be true through our faith. We establish the law. Why? Like I said, because our faith is in the law. Our faith is in the Most High's testimony. And that's how you have to look at it. It's not even how you have to look at it. That's what it is. It's what it is. And you have to believe it. You have to know that it's true. I can't make you know it's true. I know it's true. All I can do is deliver the message. It's up to you to accept the message or not accept the message. We're not emotional about this. All right. All right. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to end the class there, but I wanted to leave you with one last scripture. Let me get it for you real quick here. Because we want to know exactly the truth, right? What am I looking for? Slacky, bear with me 1 second because I just had it in my head and I lost it. I got it. All right, go to and write this one down. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes. We're going to go to chapter 12 and verse 13. And it reads as follows. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. So this is basically the end all be all, right? Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the duty of Salakia. For this is the whole duty of man. I hope you understand that. I don't have to break that down at all. Shalom, sis. But that is the whole duty of man, is to fear God and keep his commandments. All right. So what I would say to anyone that watches this class or whoever's watching the class, your mind, your heart, right, should be continually on the Lord. And what that is, it should be continually on these scriptures. Learning the Lord, learning what he requires, learning how you can better suit your brothers and sisters, your mothers and your fathers, and your daughters and your sons, aunts, uncles, your brothers that's around you every day that you don't even know. Start looking at them differently. Start looking at them truly like your brother. And love them like you love yourself, as the scriptures say. So first you have to love yourself. You love yourself by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? I'm Priesting Officer Lamawad of the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're all under Commanding General, Your Honor. And with that, that is the class. Shalom, Israel.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're one.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, Babylon is falling.